Welcome back to the Heartbroken and Housebroken podcast. I'm your host, Spiro. Before we get into it, I do have a show coming up this Wednesday, the 20th, 7 p.m. at Smoke and Fire. It is a show that I'm running. It's our second show. We're just starting to grow it. I'm very excited about it. The first show was a lot of fun. The second show, I have Noah Gardenswartz headlining, and he's absolutely phenomenal. If you guys haven't seen him, definitely come check it out. Got Liz Stone, Chris Storn featuring. I'm going to have some guest spots drop in. I'm hosting. They have great food. It's a great staff. It's about like 5 minutes away, 10 minutes away from the airport on Russell. So it's not too far out there. So come by. If you guys want, hit me up in the DMs, comment, and I'll hook you up with tickets. We're just trying to grow the show. We're trying to just make it something fun. So please come and check it out. This weekend was fun. I was cat sitting, and it was kind of a week off because the last 2.5 months, I've been going pretty hard. You know, I've been traveling a lot. I've been in Colorado a bunch. I went back to Chicago. I'm going to be going to Austin in a couple weeks. I'm excited about that. But this past week has been pretty chill, actually. It was kind of nice. It's nice just kind of not doing anything for a while. You know, we're in such a society where we have to like constantly be doing something, and my industry, we got to be pushing out content, and we got to be writing, and we got to be networking, and it's just go. And it was kind of nice just to have like a lazy little weekend. I mean, I still went out. I did a spot on the 8:00 show at the LA Comedy Club, which is my home club, and fun times like always. I was there with Mike Krasner, my good friend. He was featuring, and Jeff Keith, another good friend of mine, was headlining. And it was a great time. And then I've done something that I haven't done in a long time, probably since I was like open micing it a lot. And since Sarah passed, like I really haven't done it just because it's weird. Like the hang isn't my thing. I know a lot of people love the hang. A lot of people love to hang and, you know, party and chill with other comics. And that's fun. But I feel like since Sarah passed, it's just been something that I haven't really been able to, I don't want to say focus on, but it just hasn't been something that I've wanted to like be motivated around. It's weird because when you're grieving and when you're going through something like this, you want to be around people. Like you want to like just not be alone. But then like when it comes to actually doing stuff and interacting with people, you're like, I don't know if I want that. And I feel like that's how it's been with the comedy hang for a while. And, you know, I've been fortunate enough where I've established myself and I've been getting a lot of bookings, and I don't necessarily need to hang to get booked anymore. And I'm not saying that in a bad way because, you know, hanging is the best way to get booked in comedy a lot of the time. It's just being around, supporting a show, popping face, and then you either get on that lineup or you get on a future show. And I got to do that on Tuesday. Not on Tuesday. I got to do that on Sunday. And it was fun because I went and I did a guest spot. And then Mike Krasner was over at Wise Guys, which is right down the street from LA Comedy Club. So we head over there to see this local show that this local comic Kay Banks puts on. And it was a great show. Crowd was amazing. The show itself, all the comics did well. It was just a fun vibe. And it was cool kind of seeing a bunch of new comics that I haven't seen before. Like a lot of newer comics are newer to the scene. And it's cool to kind of see how fast and how much our scene has grown. And especially because I've taken this hiatus for so long being out. It's cool to see. It's cool. Like it feels like we have the developments of a real scene. Because for a while, our scene was just small. We just didn't have, you know, you hear about the Austins and the LAs and the New Yorks and the Chicagos and the San Franciscos. And they're just massive. And there's so many comics and there are so many shows going on. And for a while, Vegas, we didn't have that. We maybe had 1 or 2 shows a night outside of the clubs, maybe. and you maybe only consistently saw 15, 20 of us, maybe. You know, and some of you guys that aren't in comedy, you're like, that's still a lot of people. But when you go to like all the cities that I named earlier, there's like hundreds. It's like hundreds of people. And you're doing 3-minute open mics and you're waiting. And I'm going to be kind of experiencing that for the first time, really, in Austin. I'm going for a few days. I'm not sure because I don't know a whole bunch of people out there. So the bookings, I don't think I'll be getting any firm bookings. So a lot of it is going to be that old school network and hang. And I'm excited about it because it's something that I just haven't done in a while. And it was really a good, fun part of doing comedy, just going and not sure if you're going to get on a show and just meeting people and hoping that you can wiggle your way on the next one, or just supporting like whatever show is going on in the community and just being a part of it. So I'm excited about that. So, and that's what I did. And then on Friday, that's what I'm trying to. I was like, what did I do on Friday? I didn't just lounge. I did. I watched the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight, like most people in the world. And like most people in the world, I wasn't disappointed because I think we all knew what was going to happen. I think deep down I think that's something in our society now that we're a little, I don't know, if we want something to happen and we think something should happen and we genuinely believe something should happen and it doesn't, we automatically think it's rigged, it's against us, it's, you know, it's set up, it's scripted. And I don't think it was scripted, but I think it was put in place to be exactly what it was. And some of you guys might be like, that's scripted. That's exactly what scripted means. Like, it's scripted to me means like there was a genuine storyline that they put out there and they're like, look, this is what we're going to do. You're not going to do this. We're going to just play around. And I'm sure some of you guys are like, yes, that's exactly what happened. But I didn't see it that way. I saw it where, one, we all knew that Mike Tyson wasn't allowed to knock out Jake Paul. So you went into it knowing that whatever old Mike Tyson wasn't going to be put on display. You know, like he's not going to come and knock Jake Paul out in 15 seconds. He came out strong and you were almost like, okay, yeah, this is old Tyson. Like there's no way Jake has a chance. And then you just saw him kind of get old. After round 2, it was very reminiscent of me watching The Irishman with 70-something-year-old Robert De Niro. Have you guys seen that movie? It was a great movie. It's very long. It's like 3.5 hours. But the whole thing was, it was like Robert De Niro playing a younger mob version of himself, like in Casino or like in Goodfellas. But they CGI'd him to look younger, which was fine. The CGI looked fine. But there's a scene in the movie where Robert De Niro has to kick the shit out of somebody outside for disrespecting his wife or his daughter or something. And they do a long shot and you could clearly tell he's a 70-year-old man. I mean, he could barely move. You can CGI his face, but you can't CGI body movements. And that's exactly, I think, what happened to Mike Tyson. He came out, first 2 rounds, boom, 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 boom. And then old age hit. And then this dude couldn't move his hips. That's my timer. Sorry, because my camera turns off every 10 minutes. So we're going to do 10-minute segments. But it was just sad. He looked like the Tin Man. Just like, oil can, oil. And he couldn't punch. And then it would turn into Jake Paul. It was like, yeah, he probably didn't do much because nobody wants to see him beat up an old Mike Tyson. Nobody wants to watch an old legend get punked by some new age person who doesn't really have the buildup and the rapport that a lot of people want to respect of the sport. Like boxing, most sports you start when you're young and you dedicate your whole life to it, and that's what makes you great. So I think the thing that really bothers people about Jake Paul is he just decided to do this in his 20s. And he's never going to lose. And if he does lose, it's going to be something he's never going to get knocked out. He's like Floyd Mayweather right now. He's only going to take fights that he's going to win or that he has a high percentage of winning. And the sooner y'all get on board with that, the sooner y'all can move on with your lives. And then he'll probably go away because we'll stop caring.